Hi, my name is Mark, and I want to welcome you to this issue of the Fyrian website training for the Fyrian website system. Today we're going to be talking about Frequently Asked Questions module, or FAQs module, and this is a real nice way for you to be able to present the answers to the most common questions you get from the visitors to your website or from your customers to help them be able to find those answers quickly and easily on your site. What you do to go ahead and plug in this information is go to the Modules tab and click on that, as I've already done. And we're going to come down here and click on this Life Preserver icon for frequently asked questions. And you'll see here that it brings up a list of all the FAQs that we've already got set up in the system. Now currently we don't have any in the system, so we're going to come over here to the action box and click on this green plus sign, create a new FAQ. Once we click on that, this is going to think for a minute, and it's going to end up bringing up the form that we need to complete to set up a frequently asked question, which you can see here. Now, the top box here is the question itself. For example, how can I reach a customer service rep? That's the actual question. Alright, so you want to put that in whatever the question is. Now, keep in mind, the question needs to be succinct. It needs to be concise. It needs to be short. You can't put in a question that's a paragraph long. There is a limit to how long it can be, and you need to just make sure that your question that you're plugging in there is very short and succinct and gets right to the point. The next field here is a release date. This is when do you want it to automatically go online, which in this case we're just going to leave alone because I want this online today. Expiration date. You have the option, if this is a time sensitive question, you have the option of setting it up so that it automatically comes offline at a particular date and time. However, if you want it to be online indefinitely, you just leave this exactly as you see it here and not change that at all. Alright. The next thing is the template. The template, you need to select a design template that came with your site so that these frequently asked questions look just like the rest of your site. So in this case, because these are questions that we're answering, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select the education section template. And then when you do that, you're going to get a little pop-up message that says you've changed the template, would you like to apply it? And we're going to go ahead and click OK. This is going to think for a minute. It's going to give you a little clock icon here. Once that disappears, you're good to go. Alright, I want to take a minute here to talk about weighting. Weighting is the ranking system used to determine which frequently asked questions land above the others. Okay, this is how you determine which ones are on top and which ones are on the bottom. So the easiest way to do this is use a date. I'm going to use today's date, 03/18/2010, and the format we're using is a 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year. That way the higher numbers, or the newest frequently asked questions, will always appear at the top of the list. Okay, that way everything, the most recent content you put in there will appear at the top. Using this format of a 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year ensures that number will continue to grow as time goes by, so your most recent stuff is always on top. Reason we use a 4-digit year instead of a 2-digit year is because if you look at this number, what's bigger, 10 or 99? Well, we know that 99 pertains to 1999, but the computer doesn't know that. So with the computer, 10 could be 1910. That's why we use the full 4-digit year, because obviously 2010 is bigger than 1999. So if you're getting error messages or your items are not ranking where you want them to, make sure you double check that to make sure you've input the 4-digit year. Once you get all this information set, you can then come down here to the content section and go ahead and plug in the answer to your question. So in this case, if we're asking how to reach customer service, we put in here customer service can be reached by calling 1-800-555-0000, or whatever your customer service number is. Now, this is the same content editor that you use to make changes to your individual web pages. So you have all the same options. You can make things bold, italic, underline them, put in numbered lists, bulleted lists. You can even put in images, link to pages on your site that answer the question. You can even link to email addresses. Um, Anything that you can do on a regular web page, you can do here in this content editor. Okay, so that's all there is involved in creating the frequently asked question. And then when we're done, we just got to come down here and click on save, so that it will come online. You're just going to think here for a minute, and then it'll pop up a green box at the top saying item details or saved successfully, and now your frequently asked question is online. Let's say down the road, let's go back to the list here so we can see this item in the list. You'll see here that that's the one that I just created, is now on the list. Let's say down the road I don't want that one in there anymore. I want to delete it entirely. If I click on it, it'll bring me back to this form, and I just scroll down here to the bottom and click delete. Now you're going to get this pop-up message saying, are you sure you want to delete this item permanently? This is a safety measure, because you have to understand, once you delete something, it's gone for good. It cannot be retrieved. It would have to be recreated from scratch. So be absolutely sure that you really want to delete the entire item before you click OK. Assuming that's what you want to do, go ahead and click OK. Again, it'll think for a minute, and then it'll give you a message saying it was deleted successfully. And again, you can see we don't have any FAQs in here now. So that is all there is involved in creating frequently asked questions for your website. That's an optional module. If you do not currently have that as part of your administrative console, that means it was not purchased at the time your website was set up. If you want to add that, go ahead and contact your Fyrian sales representative, and they'll get that set up for you. Again, my name is Mark. I want to thank you for joining me for today's training. For training tips and tricks on how to use your Fyrian website to its full capabilities, be sure to check out our YouTube channel by going to youtube.com and doing a search for Fyrian websites. That's Fyrian websites, plural.